an atheist fell off a cliff, and as he tumbled downward, he latched hold of the branch of a small tree. And there he hung between heaven above and rocks 1,000 feet below. Well, knowing he wasn't going to be able to hang on much longer, he shouted out, "God, if you exist, save me, and I promise I will believe in you and I will teach others to believe in you." Well, a booming voice came across the canyon. "That's what they all say when they are in trouble." "No, no, no," said the atheist. "I mean it. Save me, and I will proclaim your name to the ends of the earth." "Very well," said the voice. "I shall save you. Let go of the branch." "What?" said the man. "Let go of the branch." "God, do you think I'm crazy?" Can we be crazy enough to trust another enough to let down our guard? Can we be honest enough and vulnerable enough to take off our mask and reveal who we are? Let others see who we are. In my first video on lessons in forgiveness, I made reference to the film Antwone Fisher. Antwone waited for his mother to reclaim him once she was released from prison, but she never did. And the only friend to whom Antwone had shared any of the painful experiences that he went through growing up was killed robbing a convenience store. He had no one in his life he could trust. And so it was difficult for him at first to trust Dr. Davenport. He sat closed-mouthed in Dr. Davenport's office for several sessions until he finally realized that he would be doing this endlessly until he trusted Dr. Davenport enough to talk about his life. One of the reasons some people struggle with issues of trust is because of the tragic experiences and losses that they have known in life. To trust another means that we have to be honest about who we are, honest about our lives. We have to be vulnerable and forthright. And that involves relinquishing. It involves letting go of some of the ways that we have habitually relied on over the years to protect our fragile ego from more pain and more suffering. So the question when it comes to the spiritual dimension of our life, can we trust God enough to bear us up in His or her love and grace, no matter what has happened to us or no matter what we have done? Jeremiah, in the passage that I referenced in the first video, Jeremiah 31 from the Book of Consolations, imagines God, pictures God in that passage as a shepherd who will not rest until the flock is safely gathered in. And he imagines God as a loving father who cares deeply for the well-being and the healing of his child. And I suspect it was passages like this in Jeremiah 31 that pictures God as a caring shepherd and as a loving father that influenced Jesus' own experience of God as Abba. Abba is an Aramaic word, a very warm, personal, intimate term that a child would use to address his or her father. That was the word Jesus used of God. And we know that Jesus used this word because in 2 or 3 New Testament texts, the word appears. Instead of translating the Aramaic word into Greek, the writers transliterated the word in order to preserve the original Aramaic term. So instead of translating the word into Greek, they transliterated it. They wrote it as it sounded so that the Aramaic word could be preserved. It was clearly an important truth to these early disciples that Jesus understood and related to God as Abba, as a loving, caring, intimate Father. Can we trust God as a child would trust a loving mother or father? Issues of trust and forgiveness are intimately related. Our capacity to let go of the negative emotions and attitudes that are hurting us and hurting others is often directly connected to our capacity to trust in the welcome and acceptance and love and care of others. And it is particularly true in our relationship with God. Our capacity to trust God will impact our life and our readiness and willingness to accept God's forgiveness and extend that forgiveness to others.